Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, March 27th. Last day on the New England Trail. I got 9.3 miles to the border, then 0.7 back to the parking lot. So about a 10-mile day. As you can hear, the snow is crunching under my feet. Thankfully, it's a cold night and cold morning. The snow is hardened and I'm able to walk across the top at the moment. It's not all slushy. All right, it's early and I'm moving forward, heading north. Praise the Lord. So as you can see, I'm running into a lot of blowdowns again. When I got to the road after Grace Mountain Shelter heading north, I had a hard time finding the trail. There's a spot marking, two signs going north and south on the road marking where the trail crosses, and there's a sign on the other side, the north side, but no trail because of all the blowdowns. I actually used far out to find the trail. It actually showed it going across a little farther up the road. I went up the hill and there it was, and it was going back down to where that sign was, but I couldn't find it because of all the blowdowns. A lot of cleanup to do. Again, south of Grace for 8 to 10 miles, horrible with blowdowns, and I'm running into them here. Slept in the shelter last night, a couple other hikers, and they said all the way up to the border of New Hampshire is a lot of blowdowns. Good morning, everyone. Finishing this hike and series of thoughts on creation. I'm going to go to Genesis 1. I know I've shared Genesis 1:1 before, so I'll read that and a few others. In Genesis, there's many verses in creation week that says, and God said. And that's all he has to do. He just says it and it's created and done. So Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Day 1, and God said, let there be light, and there was light. Day 2, and God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. Day 3. And God said, let the waters under the heavens be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. And continuing day 3, and God said, let the earth bring forth grass, and herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. Day 4. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and seasons, for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. Day 5. And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. Day 6. And God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing and beast of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And also on day 6, the crown of God's creation, man. And it says, and God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth on the earth. So God made man in his image. All right, everyone, heading north. Praise the Lord. And this section of trail continues to be a little stream flowing down the middle of it. Thankfully, there's enough on the sides for me to walk in right now. And also the snow on the side is pretty crunchy and solid, so I can walk on top of it. Walking along Richards Reservoir. It looks all frozen today. I'm surprised. We've had a lot of warm weather. couple cold nights and it's frozen. Plenty of good water sources. Just came from back there. Somebody has a little camp set up on the power lines. An old swing chair, some logs filling in the seat. Here's the power lines, fire pit, and I'm heading back over here. Hey everyone, it's starting to warm up. You see a bright blue sky, beautiful day. Sunshine up there. Nice stone wall down there. I'm heading north this way. I'm marking some spots with the white blazes because far out is way off in this area. I don't know why, maybe the trail moved or whatever, but far out, you're way off. So it was nice this morning. The snow was frozen and I just walked across the top of it. But it's warming up and turned to slush again. So I'm sinking in. It's not too deep right here. Well, yesterday I had some spots that were real deep. I went down to my knee a couple times, but it's not too bad right here. This is pretty nice. Some type of vehicle, probably an ATV, came through here, matted the snow down. It's pretty packed and not sinking in, which is good. So I threw my micro spikes on for the first time, going up this long logging road with the packed down tire marks. I've been slip sliding, so I thought I'd give them a try, and they're helping at the moment. Praise the Lord. Coming up on Mass Route 32. This is my last road crossing, and where Sue and I came few weeks back to find out where she would be picking me up here at Royalston Falls. It's a few minutes before noon. I got 0.7 to the line and then 0.7 back. And Sue will probably be here shortly before I get back or shortly after I get back. So it's 5 afternoon, and I am just heading up to Royalston Falls, 0.7 up to the New Hampshire line, and I have the New England Trail done. And then 0.7 back. 1.4 round trip to go. Praise the Lord. Here's the Royalston Falls shelter right up there. Going over this little bridge and continuing on to the New Hampshire border. Real pretty. Praise the Lord. All right, everybody, I made it to New Hampshire. The whole New England Trail. And if you want to continue, you can continue on the Monadnock Trail, the M&M, Metacomet Monadnock, and it goes all the way to Mount Monadnock, 8 more miles. Gap Mountain Summit, 13.5. Oh, Monadnock's 18 miles. The Little Monadnock is 8 miles. 1 foot in Massachusetts, 1 foot in New Hampshire. I'm now in New Hampshire, but I am heading back into Massachusetts and back to the parking lot. Praise the Lord. And when you're coming from New Hampshire, here's the Welcome to Massachusetts sign. 0.7 to Route 32. Woo! So as I head back to the parking lot, contemplating on the hike, that wasn't an easy hike. I've hiked sections in Connecticut, beautiful sections going up over the ridges, but hiking through the nor'easter for 2 days, that made it tough. Very wet and cold one day, very windy and cold the next day. It wasn't easy. And then that nor'easter dropped a lot of snow in places in Massachusetts. And I opted not the last 2 days to carry my snowshoes. And probably a good option. You know, I did that 21.6 mile day. And a lot of deep snow during that hike. It was tough. And I don't know how many times I was kicking myself for not having those snowshoes. And but I got through it, and because I didn't have them, they were 4.5 pounds, so I was 4.5 pounds lighter because of it. I survived the long day trudging through the deep, mushy snow and the rivers in the trail. So again, it wasn't an easy hike, but check it off the list. The New England Trail is done, and it was a good hike though, and I enjoyed the views. Saw a bear, saw a bald eagle, saw a couple owls, a lot of other birds and little animals, some deer. So I enjoy seeing the wildlife, and the Lord blessed me abundantly. All right, everybody, that's it for the New England Trail. Next one's going to be out in Kansas, which will be the Elk River Trail. Looking forward to that, and hiking with Rerun and Wandering Monk again, and a few others. Praise the Lord. Look at that, everybody. There's my favorite trail angel, my best friend, my wonderful and beautiful wife, here to pick me up again. Yay! Woo! We did it. So I got a change of clothes, did a wipes bath in the car. Feel much better. Getting ready for the long drive home. We'll take our time. We're going to enjoy either lunch or dinner on the road. And just one other thing. I mean, I've mentioned it before. The blowdowns made the hike so much harder. I lost the trail a number of times because of blowdowns. Actually crossing a road not too far back here from Royalston Falls. I was crossing the road. There were 2 signs showing where the trail was. Between the 2 signs, I couldn't find it. And Gut Hook, or Far Out, was off a little bit. So I had to, I kept going up and down the street. Went in where the sign was. I couldn't find it. And so I ended up going up the street to where Gut Hook said it went in. Climbed the hill there, and there was the trail. So all the blowdowns right at the road blocked where the trail was going in, and I couldn't see it. It was early morning, and it was dark, so I couldn't see it. And then, you know, from here south, a lot of blowdowns to Grace Mountain, and then south of Grace Mountain, probably for about 8-10 miles. There's a lot of blowdowns, so a lot of cleanup coming up this spring and summer. All right, everyone, New England Trail done. Praise the Lord. And one last comment that my wife reminded me. I had good cell reception. I have Verizon. Good reception the whole time, even in the shelters I stayed in. The last, I don't know, maybe the last mile, 2 miles, got spotty. I was able to get a couple texts out. When I got up here to Royalston Falls, I didn't have a signal. But for most of the trail, I had good cell signal and was able to communicate with my wife and let her know where I was at and how I was doing. All right, everyone. Have a great night. Praise the Lord.